sharing information when I'm on Facebook. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you so very much. And that wick seemed to have gotten wet, so we're just going to go ahead and take care of a different wick. There, gorgeous. Thank you so very much for being patient through this piece. It's the formalities of getting started on Monday, clearing our negative energy, using the resources that we have. A lot of people think we have to use and buy some fancy stuff when we're reading cards and in the community, but you don't. You really just need to make use of whatever you have currently. You repurpose your things, okay? There you go. Oh, that sage always smells so wonderful. It's very healing. If anyone is having any challenges with their health, burning sage actually does support your health, your lungs, purifies the air. All right, we're going to slide that there. And we're going to go ahead and shuffle the cards. And at this point, got a little bit of chimes there. Very good. Thank you so very much. Deitra's, oh, thank you, my love. All right, let's go ahead and get in. A lot of stuff has happened over the weekend. I'm probably going to do a read on the politics of the the American politics, right? Do a daily read. I'll do a daily read and say, guess who this is, right? Whew, that'll be tough. So I'm going to do 4 cards. Today, the cards that I'm pulling, they're in no way before, present, and future. It is a story. And then we're going to look at what is blocking us from making any progress that is necessary for us to be able to move forward, okay? Thank you. If you have a question afterwards, definitely you can ask me. And what I will say is I do clearing. So you may have a blockage. This is going to show us where we're blocked at, the energy that keeps us from being able to move forward. Like, why is it you can't get certain things done? Why is there a block? Where is the block? How do I get past that block, right? Okay. First card I'm pulling is, oh, wow. Ooh, Temperance, but she's reversed. So there's that. Temperance, she's gorgeous. That's Temperance. She's reversed. I'm going to tell you about Temperance in a second. Temperance got an interesting personality. Oh, 9 of Wands. Woo. Oh, that's an interesting card. And Princess of Wands. So that would be the Page of Wands. So we've got Wands twice. There you go. And I'm going to show it to you forward so that you can see what that card looks like forward. So Princess actually represents the Page. Page of Wands. Okay, and for those in my Facebook community, if you would like to know what the blockage is, go ahead and click on the link. I'll look forward to seeing you over here because this is definitely a doozy over here, what the block is. I'll see you soon. Ashe. Okay, over here in YouTube land, we get to see what the block is. Okay? Oh, gosh. So what's blocking us from progress? We got these wands, and wands are combative. Wands are creative. So what's blocking us from being able to create in the way that we want to play, in the way that we desire to play? Oh, goodness. King of Wands. Now, this is really interesting. So I got to tell you about this card. So you see it has the hole in it, right? You see that? This card actually had an ash or a sage cinder burn on it. And every time I pull this card, and it's the King of Wands, it's letting me, there's the blockage has to do with a person, and how we're allowing the person to either manage or manipulate our experience. The masculine energy, which is really interesting, the king represents the masculine energy. So the block has to do with the part of our personality that is more aggressive, that is more that is assertive. Right? She says, woo, right. So that's where the blockage is at. The blockage is right there. So let's go through this card reading, because we have Temperance and she's reversed. So let's talk about the Temperance. So Temperance is interesting. Temperance, I call her the water cooler chick. So she's the one that, and this is who we are in life. We get to the place where we recognize I've had to meditate on who I am. I've had to think about my choices. And it's because it's going through this story of the tarot. I've had to meditate. I'm finding myself in the Wheel of Fortune, being able to figure out how to move forward. And all of these little things are adding up. And I finally realize it's myself. So I have to pull back, right? I got to pull back and be more aligned. But the interesting thing about Temperance is that she has a hard time doing that. Temperance wants to be in it and not in it at the same time. That's why I call her the water cooler chick. She's at the water cooler listening, and everybody is literally talking and doing their stuff. And she's the one that says, well, you didn't hear it from me. Well, I really don't want to say anything. Hey, Sharda, you didn't hear it from me, but I don't really want to get involved. That's Temperance. Temperance takes this pious energy and so I'm really trying to do what's right in life. But there's still some selfishness involved. If you notice, she's her water vessel, she just pours to herself back and forth. There's no real knowledge. She kind of stays kind of caught up in her own feelings. She's not in the water and she's not on the land. She's kind of wishy-washy. See, that's what I see Temperance. Temperance is that energy, kind of in, kind of out. Wants to be of service, wants to be involved, and at the same time can't. Wants to evolve. That's Temperance. Wants to evolve, but is having a hard time. Now, it's very interesting that numerically, Temperance is a 14. So that's an X1 and a V in Roman numerical signature right there. And so it's a 14, which represents numerically a 5. So this is a person that's still working through some changes. Right? However, this card came up reversed today. It came up reversed. So what is that saying about our day? Are we finally getting to a place where we can make changes and see the higher good for what we're going through? What are we going through? Well, the Nine of Wands is right here, sitting right there. We're combative and creative at the same time, but we might be cyclical. We might find ourselves going through a cycle of things, not figuring out what do I need to move forward. And so here, the Temperance reversed is saying, I know I need to move forward. I know I need to make a change. So I'm going to move in making the right change. But the Nine of Wands is got you fighting yourself. This is not even about anybody else. Like you're trapped in your own creation, which also is in your own combat. And it can be combated with other people. But you are definitely taking a position of power, not necessarily changing, even though you want to change. There's the temperance reverse. You want to change, but it's difficult because you've been in a cycle of repeated behavior. You do the same thing over and over again. And it just becomes cyclical. And I'm going to tell you, it's very interesting because if you notice how buffed he is right here, like, right, and he's got his, his heavyweight boxing belt on and all that good stuff. He's a little stubborn, almost like he has built up this personality. The personality says, this is how I am, this is what I created, and I'm not going to change. But yet, something in the mind says, between you and divine source, it's time to change. It's time to change. Temperance is trying to change, but can't because it gets stuck. But the card showed up reverse. So temperance wants to change. Temperance is really ready to make a difference. But there's some stubborn personality deficit here. And it's a, whoo, oh my gosh. That one right there, that's a block. That's a huge block, right? And so because of this, this stubbornness, then the Page of Wands is creates this immature behavior of creation. Like we're not creating the right thing. We create short-lived things, or we create false stories. And the reason I say that, because the Princess of Wands, the princess represents the page, and the page is like a child. So there's more of an attitude. When we see this, the Page of the Knight, we see attitude. So when we're looking at the princess, we're looking at someone that likes to do some make-believe, right? And so therefore, the princess has an illusion. The page has an illusion of what is being created. And the reason why the illusion is there is because of the stubbornness and going through over and over and over a cycle of the way that we're maneuvering. Now, mind you, this is collective. It's general, and so it can be applied to all the different aspects of your life. It definitely can be applied to all of that. And just one second. Thank you, Sharda. Those wind chimes are beautiful. Yes, they are. And so, so in this process, we are not able to break the loop. There's a loop that's going on right here. Why do I know it's a loop? Ding, 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 ding. King of Wands. We got 3 wands, and this is interesting. Look, this was the card. I told you I use all these cards, and I've used them for so long. This is the card that I was actually clearing, and some sage burned the card. And now any other person would have said, oh, I'm never going to use those cards. No, I found that these cards were really important. It was a story in itself. And it meant something because it was something else when I was reading the cards. I understood that it had created its own life. So the king represents a person. And why this is important is because that's what the blockage is. It doesn't have to be outside of yourself, and we're not going to go outside of you. We are going to say the king represents yourself. The king or the queen, those are personal. Those are persons when you're looking at them in the deck. So what is the blockage? There's an aspect of what you continue to create in your mind. What you're creating in your mind, you're creating in those wands. The wands are, there you go. I'll do it that way. The wands are representation of combat and creation. And if you think about the wands, when you look at the king, he can use his authority either way. So what are you choosing? How are you choosing to use the authority of your mind to either create or be in combat? To be in a cycle, a personality cycle where you say, that's just who I am. That's just what I do. That's who I've always been. That's my core. That's never going to change. Like, are we stuck there? And you can see how much strength he has in that. And like even though he's bare chested, he's got binding on his heart. So like his heart is not even ready to change because he's got so much a conviction about the way he's doing things, which then creates a very immature experience page of Wands. And we've seen how children act when they have a twin and get selfish, right? They can be really selfish. They can be judgmental. They could be stingy. And they won't budge. If I had to say, sometimes children can be downright like stubborn. They will literally throw a tantrum. So if this cycle is sitting here in the Nine of Wands, how much is that relooping of your personality or of the personality or of your mindset? And the interesting thing, we see swords are mindset, but in this case, wands are creation and wands are combat, and you can't get there without applying the mind. You can't get there. If you notice, he's got the each one of his wands has like beautiful foliage at the top. It's like this puff of a flower at the top of each one. So therefore, that thought keeps blossoming. This thing keeps cycling, which then keeps creating an immature experience. And the blockage is yourself. It's like it's almost like saying, well, this is who I am and this is my life. Have we ever been there? I know I have. Like, I'm looking at this for myself and thinking, what do I need to work on today? See, this is energy for today. And I'm going to clear that. I want to clear that. Because that's going to keep, that attitude will keep me from mastering or getting to the next level, whether it's in my relationships, whether it's in my business. See, it doesn't matter. This is your creative moment. Now I can have the mastery of my life by adjusting my attitude. I can. Person right there, king. I can step into the power of my world. But I have to be able to remove the block. And I can't get swept up like Temperance. She's reversed. But this is Temperance going back and forth, back and forth. This card is saying, time's up. No more back and forth. Because you've been cycling too hard in this old personality that says, this is just the way I am. So therefore you keep it and creating immature experiences. And in the immature experiences, there you keep sitting there. The blockage is yourself. So are you ready to clear that? I know I am. When I think about clearing certain things, I'm definitely able to share. I want to share. Like, how do you clear that? Like, it definitely is an attitude. How, and you can post down here if you feel like that resonates, and that's what I'm, in the last week, this is what I've been dealing with, this attitude. And I'm going back and forth, and I don't want to change something, but I know I need to change something. For me, it's my personality being really hard, right? Sharda says, Can you pull a card for me on professional front, promotion, or anything that card says about my current job? Absolutely. Right. Even when we look at this set of cards right here, Charlotte, see, this was so amazing about the card read for the day. If we're really allowing ourselves to pay attention to, that general energy that's coming through the day, we can actually start to see the answer, which is really empowering. There have been times that I come on, and this is where you start listening to spirit, because they say don't shoot the messenger. If the card reading might be for somebody else, and you'll pop in, you're like, oh my God, are they talking to me? It's because you were energetically brought to that experience so that you could hear an answer you needed without having to fully divulge what the issue is. Because see, the spirit knows, or the ancestors know, your great grandparents know. So Charlotte says, yeah, more than that, your choice of words also motivates me personally. Oh, you are adorable. Thank you so much. Yeah. So we can see how these things can assist us or hold us back. So Charlotte, I will do a reading for you on that. So the blockage, let me just go ahead and clear this so that we can move forward from this one aspect. This is reverse temperance. So for everyone today, I want you to look at what's going on in your life that you know that you do need to make a change. You've heard the message between you and divine source, and it's time to move forward. Look at where you may be stubborn in your attitude. Where are you stubborn? Where are you holding the energy that keeps you from moving forward? It could be about money. It could be about your job. I know for myself, I didn't want to do readings for a long time. Yeah. And people were like, but why? You do really good at readings. You did so good. I did not want to do readings. I stopped doing readings. And that was hard for me. Like, I was in my attitude, I don't need to do readings. I'm tired of doing readings, right? You see? But it wasn't so much I was tired of doing readings. I did not allow myself to create in a way that was going to be helpful. There you go. So I had a lot of miscreation. It was immature creation. And it didn't have the right focus. And so therefore my blockage, see that? The blockage was myself. It was my own attitude at what I was working to create. And I was being stubborn to myself, right? So that is, those are really important things. When it comes to money, how does that work? When we're looking at temperance and we're looking at our money circumstance, and temperance shows up. Temperance says, hey, so you might know that there's something else better, and other people are talking about some other things that are better, but you kind of want to dip and you kind of don't. And so you are being selective. You've got your ears open for it, but you're really not resolved. But yet here she comes up reverse. And so this is about making a decision. Stop playing with your financial, with your money. Stop playing. And get out of the cycle that's keeping you from being able to move forward. Stop being stubborn, saying, I don't want to do that, or I don't want to change, or I'm not sure if I can. I'm not letting anybody else in. I don't want to learn a new thing. And because that person might be that, is now they have short-lived business experiences. Very short-lived. Like, they get into some network marketing. They can be selling Avon. It don't matter. And so they think, oh my gosh, I got to sell Avon. Maybe if I sell Avon. And, if I'm selling Avon, then, but that's not really what you want to do. Somebody asks you to sign up and you're just kind of wishy-washy about it, right? But this is saying, no, you need to be exact about what it is that you're creating, and recognize that you might be a little bit stubborn about it. Your stubbornness is creating some funky bullshit, right? And it's short-lived. You go from this new age thing to, and I'm serious, go from a new age thing to this money thing to this circle of things to, you go from, and I'm only saying for myself, I don't have to point at anybody else. So I get to say what I've done. And I know I'm just, I'm like all of my friends and beautiful family members and circles. We go through these different things because we're working to create, but we don't want to change something. And that also means we may not want to look at our own gift, right? Because the king recognizes what his gift is. But his gift might be missing. He might not be accessing, look at that. He might not be accessing his creative aspect. Notice where the card was burned out at. I tell you, everything is everything. Everything is everything. So that is something I'm going to work on today. Charlotte says, you should not stop doing readings. Yes, that's what my Jegna told me. She says, so that's your thing. You are going to have to figure out why you don't want to do readings, whatever that attitude is about that you have right now, and get back to business. It took me a while, and a lot of that is because it was short-lived, and I wasn't creating it the right way. So, see, we can find that with all of our stuff, right? So when I do readings, it's not just one-sided for you. I'm looking at it and go, oh, that's an interesting mirror. Thank you very much. So, Sharda, I'm going to go ahead and do this one for you. And then we'll identify what the block is as well, okay? Yeah, absolutely. Beatrice, thank you so very much. Shanae, thank you so very much for being on the line. Shanae, it's wonderful. I assist people to help them clear their blockages. So when you work with me, you don't just get a reading, you get the antidote. Like, what's the purpose of a reading if someone doesn't show you how to clear that blockage? Like, that's real talk. And we're not talking about some woo-woo stuff. We're literally talking about what is the neurodynamics? What is what's happening in my body that's keeping me from getting what I want? See, because it starts with the person, right? It can't be outside yourself. It just only looks like it's outside yourself. So that's the hardest part, because everything we're looking at with our eyes, and we think it's so outside of ourselves, but if we really look at even the way the eye is made, that it mirrors back an image. So think about that. That's a mirror of what's going on within. Very powerful. That gets to be expressed outward. All right. Okay, so Sharda. Beatrice, thank you. She says, I'm enjoying it. Thank you so very much. Shanae, I love those moons. So, oh gosh. Okay. And I will just also pull up our moon cast for today as well. Okay. Just so that everyone knows, we're in the Virgo moon at the moment. Okay. Sure, I'll pull 4 cards. We'll do the first 3, and then what's blocking you from really like connecting you with that promotion. Okay. Because that's what you're desiring. First card I got is the 8 of Wands. Wands is showing up all over the place, right? There's Wands. Excuse me, it's 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands, however, it showed up reversed. Second card. Temperance. I know you saw me a couple of these cards. Reverse. 5 of Pentacles, that's interesting. 5 of Pentacles. And the blockage. Oh, Princess of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. So this is the blockage. Page of Pentacles. This is an attitude. Okay, so let's talk about that. So your 3 of Wands. Shortest question is, this is a promotion or anything that the card says about your current job. So your current job is telling me that it's not allowing you to be able to use your talent to its fullest. That's the Three of Wands. So your talent is not being fully developed where that place is at, and it may not even be able to be fully realized. Temperance is there's some anxiety or anxiousness about that moving forward. Like you want to move forward, you want to shift. You want to develop whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing there and then move to the next level. You are ready. Five of Pentacles shows up for you. Even if you're ready to make that change, it's Pentacles, which is about your job. And that's why I said cards never lie. It may be time for you to make a change, but the change also will create some sort of hardship. Like you're going to have to, this card may mean that if you move forward in what you really want to do, you may not make the money that you think you are. So you might have the more creative expression, but it may not be that good in the long run. And so what's blocking you from being able to even realize that is Page of Pentacles. And that is, if I had to say, there's an aspect inside of you that doesn't feel like you can get what you want. Like, I want to create this way. I want to be used this way in my job. I have the potential, not just the potential, I actually have the ability. So I want to move and shift into that, but I don't want to have to, I don't want to have to jeopardize my finances. And so there's this aspect of miscreating or like it's play. It's not being fully realized, and it's short-lived. What you're looking to do at the moment, but that's something inside. Like you're feeling, even if you do move forward, will you be able to hold it, or will you lose it? Can you be trusted with it? So that's what this card says to me when I look at Page of Pentacles. Can I be trusted with the responsibility of the new position or the new promotion, or where I'm going in this business or my job? Let me see. She says yes, and bang on correct. Actually, I can relate to it. I was thinking of leaving a job and start my baking business. Oh, yeah, Sharda, isn't that interesting? Yeah. See, this is not living up to your potential, and you're ready to move on. Temperance. So let me just say it, that Three of Wands reverse, not living up to your potential. You're ready to move on. But that change means it's going to affect your household financially. Okay. And if what you're creating may be short-lived, not because it is short-lived, but because of what you're feeling inside about it, like your own confidence about that. And that definitely is something that can be that can be cleared, should be cleared, because any one of us can create our own business. Any one of us. There is not one person that can't. We live in a society that we can create business, and even more so now than ever, right? Because of what's going on in our national communities, that we need to start working for ourselves. However, we might feel that, and when I put these cards down, Charlotte, the cards actually flip-flop. So I'm going to pay attention to that. So then all of a sudden it became Five of Pentacles, which means what the responsibility and the financial aspect of what you need in the house is not living up to the potential, and you are ready to make a difference. But even in making a difference, see how this happens? Cards do not lie. I love it. Even in making a difference, you're still not sure how you can use your skill. Like, how can it be used? And is there confidence? Which this is the card that's showing you the blockage, that you might lack some confidence in what it is that you are creating. Sharda says, but more than my current job, you need my mind about my business that I have been dreaming about recently. Oh, wow. Yeah. So, but when you asked about your business, it was that you're not living up to your potential, even in that business environment, even in that job. You're not living up to your full potential. And you're ready to make a change. And that change may cause a lot of, may cause some hardship in the family, financial aspect of it. The responsibility may be heavier on the mate because of making those changes. And the Princess of Pentacles right here, which is Page of Pentacles. This card is definitely connected to lacking the confidence. That's where the blockage is. Having confidence in your responsibilities, carrying the responsibility, carrying your end of the bargain, or carrying your end of what's required to be a support in the household, which is really, really interesting. If anyone is resonating with any of this and you're seeing that, oh my gosh, these cards are really connecting, and you can see that you have a blockage in regards to that, you can go to my website. I actually have a special that's going on. Is $20 for a full reading and a clearing. No short change here, okay? So I'll post the link so you can go right there and you can book an appointment. It's really easy. The clearing is, and I want to say, is there's no woo-woo stuff. If anything is woo-woo, is looking at these cards and you're like, how is that happening? However, the clearing is a neurodynamic specialty. And I learned that and became certified several years ago. I want to say somewhere close to 4 or 5 years ago, and have been doing it. However, that clearing is what helped me clear negative feelings and negative experiences connected to being abducted when I was 5 years old. And I held that inside of me. And that story was keeping me from moving forward or committing to my own success, because I kept feeling like I was being ripped away from my parents. So therefore, I would never ground myself. Really interesting. So I had to clear that. And the fact that I'm on this platform today with you is because I cleared a trauma in my body. So these cards are so empowering. We get the answer when we look at the cards, but you got to get the anecdote. Like, how do you move past? You get the answer, but how do I shift from the bullshit? Sharda says, you always know what I am thinking and what's in my spirit. That's why every time I come on this live, thank you so much. You are so welcome, my dear. Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and put the link to, I'm going to put 2 links. I'm going to put a link to my website. So if you would like a booking so that you can have a full reading and a clearing, and like I said, they're not short. Sometimes your reading and clearing might last about an hour, 20 minutes. I do not hold back. And giving you everything so that you can have a wonderful experience. I have a special that's going on for December. It's $20. And so if your appointment lasts, 50 minutes or 90 minutes, it doesn't matter. There's no bait and switch. Oh, you now owe me this, blah, blah, blah. I don't do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this link here so that you can take advantage of it. And also, if you don't have time to book a session, but you'd like to give a donation because you find value in what I'm sharing today, you can do so. I'll go ahead and put that link as well. So let me go ahead and do that. Thank you so very much. I appreciate everybody's attention here and then showing up. Okay, so I am putting on the live stream. I'm putting on the link so that if you'd like to book online, it's a full session, full reading and clearing. You'll get that. I just pop that in there. If you would like to, and I'm going to go ahead and pop that in. I'm going to put it at the top as well, pin message. If you'd like to give a donation for today's reading, donation appreciated. That's what I'm saying. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate it, everyone. And there's no minimum amount for the donation. It's really just a love offering. So, and my Cash App is Michaela Rena. I'll put that there. And then my PayPal. Some people have PayPal, so I'll put that there. Thank you so very much. PayPal.me Wednesday Moon. Now, we also have some wonderful activities that happen in our group. When you first come into our group in the Witches Tradition in Facebook, what you're going to enjoy, what I'm going to tell you, is creating your own grimoire. Every person should have their own book of shadows, or their BOS, or their grimoire. This is mine. I began creating it, and you'll see how I'm actually putting my information in here, right? So these are the sections. This is what we do when we first come into the group. We begin creating. There you go. That's my work for Heket, or Hekate, okay, for my spells. So we're starting that. Everybody does that when they come into the group. It's the Witches Tradition. And so what is the Witches Tradition? Everything that is the tradition of witches, which is divination, our grimoire, keeping in touch with the moon, understanding the cycles, all of that gets worked out. In addition, for the December activity is to create their calendar for January, which is the full month of Yule. Most people are not aware that Yule doesn't just happen on January 1st, December 31st, January 1st. It actually goes for the entire 31 days of January. So anyways, it's recognizing the moon cycles and how, and the celebrations. There's several celebrations and acknowledgments that actually happen in January. So that is what we're working on in the group. I invite you to join me there. And Charta says, just want to ask you a question. It's general one. It's been ever that you see double numbers, like whenever you look at a clock, you see 11:11, 15:15, any idea? Yes, I do have an idea about that. I mean, definitely, Charta, what I'm going to encourage you to do is go to my site, book a full reading. It's $20, and let's get into why your psyche is tapping in to get you to pay attention to something that's a block, because it's definitely a message that you need to pay attention to. So with that being said, anyone else, I thank you for everyone else. Let me not say anyone else, everyone else. I thank you for joining me today. I am on live Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I encourage you to subscribe, hit the like button, and then hit that little bell so that you'll get the reminder that I'm here every day of the week. Thank you so very much. Blessed be. Mwah. Ashe.